Alright everyone, here's a video on my off-road Scout project. As you can see, it looks nothing like a Scout whatsoever now. It now has a 97 S10 cab on it. So the original cab was not savable as I expected. Obviously they all rust out, those Scouts up north, so I found this S10 cab for 150 bucks, or no, I got it for 130. That's right. Okay, I was asking 150, but basically what I've done here is pulled some stuff out of the engine bay here and plopped it down on the frame. I completely rebuilt my front suspension. Well, the shocks are used, and so are the leaf springs, but I mean, I replaced the original ones, those, and these worn out AC Delco shocks, with some slightly used ones that were a little bit better condition, but just for now. And I replaced all the leaf spring bushings, the rubber bushings, with some Prothane ones, and I also switched out the original axle because the locker is off of this one, and there's a lot of play in that shaft, in and out and side to side, so I figured it would be best to put a better axle under it. So here's what I got, and I think the little inline 6 is going to fit in this bay nicely. I don't think I'm going to have to really cut too much of the firewall or the transmission tunnel. There we go. Got that off of there. But so far the steering I think is going to be pretty easy. I cut the end off the steering shaft, and this is the original Scout steering shaft, and it's actually flat on both sides. It's not a completely round piece, and that actually happens to be the same size as the steering shaft in the cab for the original S10. So what I think I'm going to have to do here is I have two of these steering shafts. I have an extra one. And I think what I'm going to do, just move that out of the way, there, is drill out these rivets here and disconnect this sleeve. Then cut a little bit off the end of the sleeve here, and maybe a little bit of the shaft, and take a section of the other spare shaft that I have, and because this isn't long enough, and extend it up into the cab. But what I am going to have to do here, as you can see, I had to cut a little bit of the inner fender well here to accommodate for that steering gearbox, but I think I'm going to have to cut into the firewall here, because there's the hole. I think I'm going to have to cut a little slot just to the right of it here, because otherwise I don't have enough room. It'll be a little bit off. So yeah, I plan on using the power brakes from the S10. I got rid of the ABS controller because obviously not going to need that. I'm going to completely rewire this truck, so what I plan on doing, as you can see, I've already started gutting the interior here. The steering wheel's coming off, going to get replaced. I'm going to switch the digital gauges over to a set of analog ones for the older AMC inline 6 motor, and basically what I'm going to do is cut out a piece of diamond plate to take the shape of this and drill holes in it for the gauges, and basically all the extra switches on the dash, like all the fancy toggle switches and dimmers and stuff, that's all going to get covered over with diamond plate, and then I'm just going to put toggle switches in, and I don't have to figure out what to do for the wipers and the blinker, turn signals, and the spray for the windshield. But yeah, so far so good. Floor here's got a little surface rust, I'll have to clean that up, but so far so good. I don't have any mounts made for this cab yet. It's just resting on wood blocks and a couple of jacks. I was evening it out, and I had a level and was just making sure everything was nice and squared up just to see how it would look. You can see it looks pretty short. It kind of reminds me of an airport tug. It was up quite a bit higher than I have it now, so it really looked weird, but now that I have the cab lowered down to about where it's going to sit, it shouldn't be a problem. But compared to a normal S10, I'd say it's definitely higher than normal. So I mean, it's probably, I don't know, 4 inches higher than a standard S10 at least. So you know, obviously it's all custom, so I don't know exactly how much of a lift it is because no one makes, you know, a kit to do this. But I got to switch the back tires out. These are just rolling tires. I got another set of nice rims for the front here. Just like those, they're bald though, so I mean, those will be rollers, but those will be the rims I'm going to use, and that'll be the tire size I'm going with, so it'll give me a good idea, because the back end sits a couple inches lower because these are smaller tires. So, yeah. Oh, just a quick side note, this is a brand new tire I put on here when this thing still ran, and I drove it around the farm and used it for stuff. These are Firestone Winter Force tires, and I think on Tire Rack they're on clearance for like $70 a piece, and they're good tires. So I advise you, if you need snow tires, to pick them up. They work pretty good in the mud too, but you know, they're definitely not mud tires. They don't clean out that well. But yeah, as far as the back suspension, I have to replace this shock because when this was getting moved around with the skid loader, I accidentally bent the shock there, and this one got a little dinged up, but it's still okay. Just the outer cover of it. And then this cab has to come off at least twice more. Once I get the mounts made, then I have to take it off to put the engine and transmission in, because I figure that'll be the easiest way to do it. And then there's still on the frame here, well, yeah, I guess you can't see it, that little bit of light there. There's a small spot on the frame I have to patch towards the front. Yeah, you can see it now, just right there. So, I mean, it's a boxed frame, so it should be pretty sturdy already, but add a little extra there. And then on the inside, you can't really see it, but there's a small section here I have to patch up on the other side of the frame here. And then reinforce that with some gussets. But that's about it for that. Oh, and one other thing I have to do too is I have to, I'm replacing, you can see one there, that bracket that runs along the frame there. There was another one on that side. Yeah, there you can see the spot I need to patch. That's just getting replaced with angle iron, so it's more sturdy. So, yeah. So at least 2 or 3 more times this cab has to come off of here. But, you know, right now this thing is pretty sturdy on there. I can wiggle it around, and it's coming along. So, hopefully I'll get some more money here soon. I'm taking in scrap to the scrap yard pretty quick here, and I'll have enough to buy some parts I need to get this thing furthered along. So hopefully this thing will be done by the end of summer, and I'll be driving this around. But yeah, so alright, that's about all I have for you. Thanks for watching.